Yo, I'm gonna need you to lock in right now. Halloween is like 2 weeks away-ish by the time this video is posted, and you're probably scrambling to find a costume right now. So let me put you on to the Art of Casual Cosplay. Now, you might be asking, Jess, what is casual cosplay? Great question. Casual cosplay is essentially when you dress like a character, but incorporating your own style and preference. That means no more splurging on one-time costumes. The idea is just that if we're going to spend money on our outfits anyways, why not spend it on pieces that we'll wear again and again? Okay, Jess, I get what casual cosplay is now, but why should I listen to you? To convince you, I'm gonna walk through my casual cosplay resume. You might see that I like cosplaying a certain archetype of character, but keep that to yourself, okay? Year one, we have Lloyd from Spy X Family. Now, I'd highly recommend suits for beginner cosplayers since they're very easy to rewear, very easy to justify buying them because it's very likely that you'll need to wear a suit sometime in the future again. And there's a lot of characters that you could cosplay as. There's like the entire cast of Chainsaw Man, Rolo. But the thing with suited characters is that there's not sort of a lot of personal style I feel like you can throw in. Let's move on to year two. We have Ace from One Piece. Bring back this man, please. I miss him. This one, I would definitely say I incorporated a bit more personal style. This brown studded belt, which I really love. Different from his belt, right? But still sort of giving the same essence. As well as this red necklace that I bought before because I don't really like his big bulbous one. My loafers instead of what are those? I'd say though, as we move on to year three, that most costumes actually require much more layering when it comes to a good cosplay. Around this time, I was really into skull pandas. There's definitely a lot more layering going on here, as well as a lot more sort of DIY on items. All right, now that you trust me a little more, I'm gonna teach you how to casual cosplay. There are essentially 3 steps. The first involves your closet. Welcome to my closet. Haven't been in here in a while. What? What you're doing here is you're looking around and you're going, okay, what characters do certain pieces remind me of? For instance, this green trench coat is giving me Kyokyoin, Nana vibes, Jotaro. I love this hat, by the way. I have a lot of trench coats, but this one too. Now, I'd recommend doing this step anyways, even if you know which character you're trying to cosplay as, so that you know what items you need to purchase additionally. If you don't, it's a great way to sort of look at what potential things you might already have in your closet that you can use to cosplay a character. Now that we've gone through our own closet, we know which character we want to cosplay, and we know what clothing we have and might be missing, we move on to step 2. This is where you get to break down the outfit using your own creativity. Let me walk you through an example with my costume this year. This year, I'm cosplaying as another fine man, Mr. Zuko himself. Before we get started, I like to drag any photos of any pieces of clothing that you found in your closet. I did not find anything. Let's start big picture. First, I'll divide the top and the bottom half. Ignore any details. Okay, so starting with the top half, I know that finding a piece that looks like Zuko's robe will be really hard. I am personally not likely to wear that again, so I will cut the half at the waist. The top consists of 2 pieces you can see here, a long red sleeve and a brown vest. And what you'll do, let's give an example with this brown vest, is I'll search it on Pinterest and drag in photos that I like. Same with the long red sleeve. Then the bottom, I see red pants. Also, some sort of brown wrap piece. I could see this as a skirt, shorts, maybe even a wrap. I'm putting multiple options. I kind of want to play around and see which one I like more, and so don't be afraid to do that as well. I also don't like his boots that much, and I think that we can get rid of them and still preserve the essence of the character. So I'll just be wearing my normal black boots. Lastly, we'll focus on details. This is where I feel like most of your own style can be incorporated. So one thing that I ignored before, right, is this gold detailing that you see on the inside of the vest and the skirt opening. So a really cool way I think that we could incorporate this is with gold jewelry. And I added a few examples here. I feel like jewelry is really fun to play with. I added some other small details that I didn't include here, like a ring and earrings that I really like that I thought sort of fit the vibe of the character. As an extra bonus tip, something I really like adding sometimes are like pin-on buttons. You'll be able to remove them afterwards. I did this on the Kyokyoin trench coat that you saw earlier as an example. And sometimes after you do all this, it might still not be enough. Sometimes a character has a very distinctive feature, which is usually on their face or their head. And as long as you have the general vibe of the outfit, but you perfect that portion, people will know who you are. So an instance of that is Zuko with his scar, Sukuna with his face tat, Ace with his hat, And a lot of the times it's even like their hair. A lot of like the Demon Slayer characters, Vi from Arcane. I'd say you should just sort of purchase this, whether it's makeup, wigs, one-use items like Ace's hat, because even though these things are things you may not wear again, it's much less expensive than purchasing a one-time costume in its entirety. And there's a huge difference in people being able to tell who you are. So sometimes it's worth it to splurge a little bit, but also you could low-key just buy it on Amazon and return it, but you didn't hear that from me. And we're finally on to step 3. It's time to get these items. Some people might be able to make their own clothing item. Some people might go thrifting for their clothing items, and some people might just purchase them online. If you're purchasing online, one trick is to use this mood board that you just created, Google search all of the images, and go to the products page, and you'll be able to find a bunch of options that are very similar to what you're looking for. If you're going thrifting, take your mood board with you and look for pieces that essentially replicate what you're trying to go for. And if you're sewing your own items, that's awesome. You're probably so much cooler than me, but again, you can use your mood board for reference. Mine was more so a combination of thrifting and buying things. Here's what my costume looks like when everything is put together. And that's it for cosplay training camp. Go forth, cook up something good. If you do, tag me in any of my socials below. And until next time, see ya. Subscribe.